Moving on, let's see some news that Richard texted me right away as soon as he saw it making the headlines. Bully Ray, we all know him, of course. You know, one half of the Dudley,
Bubba.
the Dudley boys. It was being reported that he is done with Ring of Honor. Richard, so what were you reading exactly about this whole situation here?
Well, I listen to Busted Open on a daily basis, and he hasn't brought up Ring of Honor or anything Ring of Honor in quite some time. And I texted you before they were teasing the Aces and Eights thing for Impact recently, and it just seemed like this is odd, like it's very quiet on that end, and he's not a quiet person.
Yeah.
Very outspoken, and started looking into it, and then we saw them teasing the Aces and Eights thing, and then D'Lo Brown was teasing the Aces and Eights thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it just makes sense that if there was a mystery opponent or spot for that Impact World Title match at Slammiversary, it's like, well, I think Bully Ray might be available. And so it started out as a hunch, and now things are just kind of falling into place for it.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because, there's an influx of people, like you were telling me before the show started, that the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, apparently signed with Impact.
Yeah, it's apparently
officially.
It's official now. That the Good Brothers are going to sign with Impact Wrestling. So Gallows and Anderson's making their way now. As far as when their actual debut is going to be, that's to be determined. If they're going to show up July 18th at Slammiversary, or maybe at the next set of tapings. I mean, if I was a betting man, I think it would make more sense to do it at Slammiversary, have a stronger impact. No pun intended. but apparently also the rumor as far as with Gallows and Anderson is they have a new sweet deal here. So it sounds like they're going to sign with Impact Wrestling, and that's going to be their American promotion. But Impact is also going to let them still work over in Japan, so they can still do stuff with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I think that's for them the best of both worlds. So you're going to still be on American television with Impact Wrestling, and then you're going to be able to still put on matches and work in New Japan, which you can argue they put some of their best work. I mean, obviously with the Bullet Club and whatnot. So they have a natural following there as well. So I think for them, that's a really exciting opportunity that they can.
No point for Impact having once again a working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, so that
well,
I think,
I was going to ask you that. If you're looking at roster, and if you don't even know who's on this roster, if you're New Japan, would you rather be in bed with Ring of Honor or Impact right now for star power?
That's a tough one.
I mean, Ring of Honor
in Ring of Honor right now.
Yeah, just Marty Scurll. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that comes to
and
mind.
Jay Lethal. That's it.
Jay Lethal. Yeah.
So I think maybe Impact kind of makes more sense as far as having that American way to get back into American TV. But actually, and this is actually surprising because wasn't there a little bit of an issue with New Japan and Impact because New Japan had the TV deal with Access TV. Impact got bought out, or they got a new deal on Access TV because the company that owns Access now owns Impact. So they pretty much brought Impact over and then kicked New Japan to the curb. So I think that's where some people were questioning, is Impact and New Japan having a little bit of a beef?
A tiff.
Yeah, a beef with one another.
Contest.
Yeah, but if this works out, I think this is great that hopefully, that everyone's on the same page. And I think at the end of the day, it's just about, making money and having a good business working relationship. So I mean, I would be excited to see if, New Japan and Impact can put on some shows together or have, crossover talent exchange. Part of me is a little bit bummed because, you guys are going to laugh at me, but I was hoping maybe New Japan can still do some stuff with AEW, especially with Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega and the.
But New Japan's a wrestling company.
Here we go. but I'm just saying.
It's not Circus Olay, Danny. Come on.
But I'm just saying because I know a lot of wrestling fans wanted to see AEW in New Japan.
AEW wrestling fans.
Yes, want to see the two work together, especially with Moxley's the U.S. champion and Kenny Omega's long history, the Young Bucks,
and Lance Archer.
Yeah, Lance Archer. So
didn't Dean Ambrose wrestle for New Japan not that long ago?
John Moxley, yes, he did.
Yeah,
he's a U.S. champion. So I'm just saying, like, I'm curious. Maybe who knows? Maybe New Japan wants deals with several promotions. So maybe they want to do. Maybe they could do something with Impact and AEW separate. Have separate agreements. But yeah, I don't know what the relationship currently is with Ring of Honor. So it can get kind of confusing. I mean, of course, But
at the end of the day, there's still for what we have: Impact, Ring of Honor, AEW, NXT, WWE in America. And in Japan, they've got Lionsgate, DDT, Stardom, All Japan, and New Japan. Like, there's enough companies that just everyone wants to work with New Japan.
Yeah, no,
and Noah.
You're right. And then there's, through Tommy.
And All Japan has the best library because they have all the American stars that went over there for these crazy tournaments.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know why no one's working with All Japan anymore.
But it's like, but if AEW and Impact, if they could have some, working relationship with New Japan, this would be like what back in the territory days when all the NWA territories and including the AWA, they were all working with All Japan Pro Wrestling, while the WWE back then was working with New Japan.
Yeah, I mean, all this.
Well, they also worked with All Japan as well, though.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's. I guess we can all agree on, if one company can't work with the other, there's still plenty of options if one of these American promotions want to have a working relationship with someone over in Japan. So there's plenty of options there. So hopefully this is something they can explore. No, MLW. Didn't MLW earlier this year, they were going to work with Dragon Gate?
Yeah.
So, they did. They sent Hammerstone over.
Yeah.
And they were previously working with Noah.
Yeah. We can only see. This is all speculation, obviously, because we're in a pandemic still, so it's kind of tough to see what happens. So, but once live shows pick up again, yeah, I would love to see more U.S. promotions work with different Japanese promotions. I think it'd be exciting. So, like you said, for Gallows and Anderson, based on this new deal, I think it's awesome for them that they can still get the best of both worlds as far as what do people know them for, as far as, being on American television and then going back to Japan to put on shows with the company that they have a lot of great history with. But so with Bully Ray, though, with, looks like he's done with Ring of Honor. So I guess, we'll tune in the Slammiversary, see if he makes an appearance there. And
I know you've been checking Impact out the last couple of weeks. I haven't checked them out since Bobby Lashley left, I think.
Oh, wow. And that was
2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been watching a little bit too. So
I've been watching clips here and there. I'm willing to jump in again if because I know Bully, he's just a heat magnet. I don't know if you guys ever saw his feud with Flip Gordon in Ring of Honor.
No,
I've not seen it.
He gave this speech about how he's a Marine and Flip Gordon's a coward and this and that, and it was just like, God damn, that's.
I did see a little bit. I think at All In, they were kind of teasing it there originally, or that might have been the beginning of it. Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about now. So yeah, but I just think it'd be if Bully Ray can quote come home. I know he already came home once to WWE with him and Devon their last run, and so if he can come home one more time to maybe Impact Wrestling, I think that'd be exciting. Would you want to see an Aces and 8 reunion and get? If Gallows is there, you got another member there. And would you bring Anderson into the fold then as a new member?
Absolutely. I think part of what made Aces and Eights to me appealing is that you had guys in there that you were familiar with, but then you had your Wes Briscoe and your Garrett Bischoff, who I don't think gets enough credit because I think you look at Garrett Bischoff and you think Eric Bischoff, and it's like, Carrot was actually a pretty decent high flying wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Just, last name. It's kind of like would Chavo Guerrero be a bigger wrestler if he didn't have that last name? So
I wonder what happened to Wes Briscoe.
I think he's still wrestling. He's just not televised anywhere.
Okay. But yeah, no, like I said, I think it'd be exciting for an Aces and 8 reunion. And if there were a way to incorporate, Gallows back into the fold, and then maybe bring Anderson in. But so Gallows, he has the luck of it as far as being in two major factions with Aces and Eights and the Bullet Club. So I wonder if you could do like some sort of fusion of the two. But we got to come up with a new name for them, right?
Yeah. What would you come up with?
Bullet Aces.
Bullet Aces. Bullet Aces. There we go. All right, Tommy with the name. Tommy, we should put on a t-shirt already.
Copyrighted. Yeah.
But so, once again, another reason why we got turned Slammiversary in less than a couple weeks now. So I've never talked this much Impact Wrestling at all in the last couple years. The hype is real.
The hype is real.